every Monday night. I don't have a specific time. I just go Monday night. So make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. Today, we are going to, I can barely talk. Today, we are going to talk about ways that you can get rid of man boobs. And yes, it's a bit of a hooky title, but that's what gets you sucked in. What we're really talking about is how to build muscle and get leaner at the same time. Two things that everybody wants. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to give you my top tips to build muscle and get leaner at the same time. All right. Another thing, any questions that you have related to fitness, please put them in the comments. I will answer whatever you ask. You have a question about diet, you have a question about nutrition, you have a question about a specific exercise or exercise format. I am the guy to help you. Real world fitness advice for real people. All right. So with all that said, we are going to get started. And don't forget to get your supers in. They help me do lives more and do lives more often. So get those supers in. Those are the things that help me make content. And I'm more grateful than you know for them. All right. So the first thing we got to talk about when we're going to get leaner is we have to talk about creating a calorie deficit. That's the number one way you're going to get leaner. Nothing else is going to work. If you want to burn body fat, you have to get in that calorie deficit. Now, a lot of people have no idea how many calories they need to consume in a day. But luckily, there are resources for that. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to go to a website like Google and just Google BMR calculator. And I'm actually going to pull up my laptop right now so I can do this live with you. And Adrian, Tristan, I am doing great tonight. How are you, sir? Thanks for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. All right. Carl Pandon says a bunch of stuff about banned substances. We do not do banned substances here, but they will make you leaner. So congratulations on taking the easy way out, on taking the easy road. Not what we do around here. Now, I'm going to Google, and I am going to Google BMR calculator, all right? So BMR calculator, all right? And I can pick the first one. I'm actually going to show you right here. I'm going to pick the first one that pops up. All right, so here's a basic BMR calculator you can see on the screen right now. The basal metabolic rate calculator estimates your basal metabolic rate, the amount of energy expended while at rest in a neutrally temperature environment and in a post-absorptive state, meaning the digestive system is inactive, which requires about 12 hours of fasting. So what you're going to do, you're going to put a bunch of metrics into this website. So age, let's say our sample male is 35 years old. All right, we're going to say this person is 6 feet tall, pretty average for a human. And we are going to say they're 230 pounds. That's pretty heavy, but we're going to assume that this person needs to lose some body fat. So I'm going to calculate. It says here this person's BMR is 2,016 calories a day. So that's a base level, all right? Then it gives you some adjustments based on activity. If you're sedentary, that's little or no exercise, you require 2,400 calories a day. If you exercise 1 to 3 times a week, it's 2,700 calories a day. If you exercise 4 to 5 times a week, it is 2,900 calories a day. Daily exercise or intense exercise 3 to 4 times a week, that's 3,100 calories. Intense exercise 6 to 7 days a week, we're looking at 3,400 calories. In very intense exercise or an extremely physical job, we're looking at 3,800 calories. Now, they've got some definitions of exercise here, which are important. Exercise, 15 to 30 minutes of elevated heart rate activity. Intense exercise is 45 to 120 minutes of elevated heart rate activity, and very intense exercise is 2+ hours of elevated heart rate activity. This creates some problems, and this is where people get messed up. They don't know how to quantify exercise, and they don't know what intense is. So a lot of these definitions can be difficult to acquiesce into your life. So one of the tips that I do is, regardless of how much exercise you do, I would stick with that base BMR number, 2,016 calories a day. If you're a 35-year-old male, you're 6 feet tall, you're 230 pounds, you are going to have that 2,016 calories a day. Now, will it be a struggle to eat that little in calories? Absolutely. But losing weight isn't easy. And this is what I would do if I was training somebody for a movie and they had a limited amount of time to get ready. I would go on the least amount of calories possible. Truth be told, I would probably put them down to 1,800 calories, all right? Couple of things here before we go on that note. Adrian Tristan says, ever since you told me about losing weight, I've been doing everything you teach, and I've been doing wonders. 120 push-ups in 2 minutes compared to 65 to 75 about a month ago. You're the best. Amazing work. That's huge improvement. You should be really, really proud of yourself. Anyone who's willing to better themselves, you have my applause and my respect. All right. Spawn says, I joined yesterday. Looking forward to this journey. Keep up the great work. I appreciate that very much. Someone says, why do I look like Johnny Sins? Why does Johnny Sins look like me? All right. And then Johnny Sins is a compliment, though. I will take that as a compliment. Not a bad looking guy at all. But back to the numbers. Normally, I'll tell people to eat 1,800 calories a day, to go even lower than this. People ask me how much this number changes based on age. So a 35-year-old is getting 2,016. A 40-year-old, that drops to 1,991. So only really a difference in 20 or 25 calories. There's nothing, there's really no difference. Carl Pandon, you said I'm a scammer. How am I a scammer? What advice have I given you that's wrong, apart from calling you out on PED use? Is that why your feelings are hurt? Is that why you're upset? All right, I'm very anti-PED. There are some sports where it's kind of part of the game, right? But for the most part, for 99% of us in the world, PEDs, I wouldn't take them. I don't think it's worth the side effects. And I think you rob yourself of the benefit of real, genuine hard work. I also think there's way too many kids that hop on that stuff with no understanding of what the future is going to bring. All right? So, Carl, you can keep being mean. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to help anybody. But this is what people do on YouTube. You're about to get yourself put in time out. We don't do the bullying thing here. All right, so a 40-year-old, the calorie total only really dropped by 20. Let's say if we go down to a 25-year-old, let's see how much that goes up. Still 2066. So no matter what age you put in, it's going to be fairly similar. The thing that's going to affect this is weight. Where weight can get tricky, though, is not all people that are 6 feet tall and 230 pounds are the same body composition. That can start to get difficult. 230 pounds of muscle is going to burn a lot more than 230 pounds of fat. Next Gen Gaming says, can you suggest for my wife? She's 24 years old and 98 kilograms, and she has PCOD. All right. How tall is she? Height is important, and I'll get that queued up to help right now. And she's 24 years old, all right? So we'll go 24 years old. We'll go female. How tall are we talking? 93 kilos is about 217 pounds. So let's see here. Let's go with height. 5'5", all right? We're looking at 1,735 calories a day. And I'd actually think that's pretty accurate. So just as a base number. Again, I will go lower. If I see a number like 2,000, 2,100, I will go lower. I will go like 1,800. But that's the first step. You want to figure out what that BMR number is, all right? I'm not even worried about exercise yet. I want to turn that into a lifestyle, and we'll address that in a minute. In that, you want to make sure your macros are dialed. Now, people will really, really fine-tune their macros. The way I do it, I set protein first, and however you want to eat after that, that's up to you. You need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight a day. So Next Gen Gaming will go with your wife. She's 217 pounds, 217 grams of protein a day. That's incredibly difficult to get through real food, but that's how we want to do it. We want to eat fish. We want to eat chicken. We want to eat red meat. We want to have eggs. Egg whites will really, really help get to that high of a protein goal. Protein powder would be okay in this case. Normally, I have people eat their body weight in protein. Truth be told, that's probably a little too much. You probably don't need that much, but it will help with appetite. If you're filling up on that much protein, you're not going to have room left for all the fat and all the carbs, all the stuff that's going to pile on weight, all right? So that's the first thing we're going to do. How you want to eat after that, whether you get it from carbs or protein, I think it depends on your personal tastes. I prefer going higher fat and lower carbs. Some people prefer higher carb and lower fat. Doesn't really matter as long as you limit your calories. Robert Williams, yes, I do like bench press. It's a great exercise. I enjoy it. I do a lot more body weight stuff than bench press, but I do think the bench press can be a good exercise. Emmer Mohammed says 182 centimeters height and 62 kilograms, struggling on bulk, feeling stomach complete, calorie deficiency on day, add gainer, fueling complete over the day, bad results. I'm not sure really what you're asking there. I don't feel like there's a question there. Hank from Breaking Bad, that's actually pretty funny. Walter White. All right. Can bench press build muscle? Yes, bench press can build muscle. All right. So we're going to get the protein first with our 1,800 calories or whatever you're eating, and then the rest of the macros will fall in line. Now, on top of that, you want to make sure the food you're eating is from completely non-processed sources. All right. So no processed food. You got to be able to kill it and cook it over a fire, or you have to be able to pick it from a tree and eat it in its natural state, all right? That's the diet portion. If you can do that, you're going to lose weight. Now, we haven't talked about creating a calorie deficit yet, but we are going to do that through exercise, which is the next point. You want to build muscle. You want to get leaner. And Robert Williams, yes, again, bench press can build muscle for the 19th time this live. The next thing that you need to do if you want to build some muscle, you've got to do exercise. A really good workout split for a beginner, I would copy this down. It's what my workout app is based off of, is Monday, I would do upper body push. Tuesday, I would do upper body pull. Wednesday, I would do legs. Thursday, I would do another upper body push day, shoulder, the primary muscle mover in that one. The Monday, the upper body push, I would do chest and triceps. The Thursday, I would do shoulders. Friday, I would do arms and I would do abs. Saturday, I would do a full body conditioning type of workout. And Sunday, I would do active recovery. That would be a really, really good split to build muscle. Number two, I would walk as much as humanly possible. I would get as many calories burned walking as possible. That will create a massive calorie deficit. If you were to walk 5 kilometers a day by the end of the year, you would complete 43 marathons. That's going to be your fat loss rate there. Consider the work you do in the gym, the sets, the reps, the things like that. That will be building muscle. The walking will create the calorie deficit. The truth is, if you spend an hour in the gym doing weights and you're doing the typical kind of weights people do, like sets and reps, like I'm not talking hard circuit training, you're not going to burn enough calories to really, really, really make a dent. Now, Robert Williams wants to know what's my favorite chest exercise. So let's go over the kind of exercises I would do in each of those days. So Monday, we're doing upper body push. We're doing chest and triceps. I would do a lot of push-ups. I love push-ups. I would do a lot of dips. I really, really favor the body weight exercises over weighted exercises. I do believe they work best. My favorite way to get the upper body exercises is in a circuit. My favorite upper body workout is the Holy Trinity. Push-ups, pull-ups, dips. for 30 minutes, as many reps as possible. That's one of my favorite workouts. But again, for that upper body push split, I might start the day with a warm-up. I might do 3 sets of 30 seconds push-ups to start the day with a minute rest in between each. Next up, maybe I would do 4 sets of 10 reps of barbell bench press or dumbbell bench press. I would go at a weight that puts you close to failure by 10 reps. The next exercise up, I might do 4 sets of 10 dumbbell flies or something like that. Once I was done that, then I would do some type of circuit training, maybe a set of dips into a set of push-ups, into a set of sit-ups, and do 3 rounds or 4 rounds or something like that. And maybe a little bit of core or abdominal conditioning after. That would be a good, that would be like a good model for like an upper body push day. Rachel Moran with the super, thank you very much. And thank you for coming by. I really, really appreciate you. So thank you for supporting me in this live. Adrian Tristan says he does 4,000 steps on the Stairmaster every other day on my 4-day split. Is this recommended? Yes, as much walking as possible. I would say that's actually not enough. I would do a lot more than that. The truth says I'm old. Does a chair push-up actually work? Any type of push-up will work, but try to do proper push-ups. Don't try to cheat it in any way. Amr Mohammed says, I want to notice a tip. Playing bench press by bar increase the incidence of clavicle dislocation, so it's better to play with it free dumbbell with a sub-maximal weight. I don't necessarily think dumbbells are better than barbells or barbells are better than dumbbells. It's just resistance training. I would rank body weight stuff ahead of those both for long-term health for your body, but both can work, and I don't think both come in with inherent injury risk, all right? Tuesday, upper body pull. I would do a lot of pull-ups. I would do some Aussie rows or some inverted rows. I love those. I would do maybe some bent rows with some dumbbells or a barbell. I think those are really, really good as well. I would follow the same type of format I followed for Monday. For legs, reverse lunges, Bulgarians, split squats, and RDLs for the hamstrings are going to be your best friend. If you follow me regularly, you'll see me do a lot of Nordic curls. Unfortunately, people can't do those. They're really, really difficult, so those might be off the table. Thursday for shoulders, I would do some Arnold press. I would do some overhead press. I would do some front delt raises. I would do some side delt raises. Sabit Saha, thank you very much for the super. I really, really appreciate that. Means a lot to me. Adrian Tristan says, how many steps should I do as long as you keep preaching? Man, I don't know if the 10,000 steps a day is what you absolutely need, but the more walking, the better. I like to quantify it rather than steps by time. I would do an extra hour of cardio 4 days a week. You will lean right out. In fact, I would go on an hour walk every single day. Michael Glassmaker says, age is just a number. Your mindset is a key. Depends how bad you want it. You got that right. Couldn't have said it better myself. Back to that exercise split. On the Friday, for arms, I mean, I would do some bicep and tricep exercise. I really like drag curls. I really like hammer curls. For triceps, I like dips. I like push-ups. I like tricep push-downs with a rope. And then Saturday for full body conditioning, you could do something like a CrossFit style workout. You could do intervals or something to really, really, really burn. Sabate says, how many sit-ups per day to shape up abs? You know, I don't know if that's a question of how many sit-ups you're going to do a day, right? There's a lot of people that don't work abs and get their abs worked through other functional means. Like if you're deadlifting, if you're doing pull-ups, if you're doing push-ups, if you're doing stuff like that, you should develop abs when you're doing real functional training. And the way your abs are going to show is create that calorie deficit that I was talking about when we started off this live. Adrian, write your split down and I'd be glad to take a look at it. So with all this exercise, this is how you're going to build muscle. And if you're exercising this much, I promise you, you're going to create a calorie deficit. If you're just doing the weights, you might create a calorie deficit of 300 calories a day. If you're doing the weights and the walking, it might go as high as 600 calories a day. And so here's how we'll figure out the math. There's 3,600 calories in a pound of fat. If you have to burn 10 pounds of fat, that's 36,000 calories. Divide that number by 300. That's a calorie deficit you're going to create a day. If you're really only eating 1,800 and then you're working out an hour a day, then that's how many days it's going to take you to burn 10 pounds of fat. Now, if you're burning 600 calories a day, you're walking, it'll happen twice as fast. Justin Riley, what do you like to do for hamstrings? I do a lot of deadlifting. I do straight-legged deadlifting. I do Romanian deadlifts, and I do a lot of Nordic curls. Nordic curls, I think, are the best hamstring developer. The hard part is a lot of people can't do them, so you might want to focus on negatives when you're starting those. So that's the exercise portion of this, right? So now if you're having that calorie, if you're only eating 1,800 calories a day, you're getting your 200 grams of protein, then you're lifting weights every day and walking on top of this, this stuff is going to happen really, really fast. This is actually the protocol that my 28-day shred was based off of, where you're working out twice a day, not formal workouts with weights, but one of the workouts was with weights or resistance training. The other one was a walk. You're going super low calorie and high protein. If you were to do that for 28 days, you would see a massive change. You were to do that for 56 days, which is 2 months, you'd see even bigger change. If you were to do it for 3 months, you would completely 100% change your life. And no, it's not easy, but that's what it's going to take. Like, everyone wants that Michael B. Jordan body. Everyone wants to look like Jason Statham, but you got to work for it. It's not just going to happen, all right? Zenor says, because you're wearing pink. I am wearing pink today, my Kimura Lock shirt and my Epic Roll hoodie. Love jiu-jitsu. Adrian Tristan says it's too long to be submitted in the comments. All right, well, I don't know what we're going to do then. You got to put it in a comment somewhere, so maybe not do that on the live. Maybe you do it on my last video. I will see it. Hassan says, can you say UWU? I don't know why. Is that a university? Don't know what you're asking me, but hopefully I didn't say anything that I shouldn't. All right, so we talked about the diet. We talked about, thank you, Zednor. We talked about the exercise protocol. And here's the deal. You can go crazy with the exercise stuff. You can try to make this super complicated. But the key is you just have to start doing something. Everyone wants a perfect program. Consistency is more important than anything. It's literally showing up every single day. Now, let me ask a question to the people that are watching in the comments. Who here works out a minimum? Actually, tell me, how many days do you work out? I should see a bunch of comments roll in. Do you work out 3 days a week? Do you work out 4 days a week? Do you work out 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week? Are you down at 2 or 1? Put your number in the comments. The truth says he's working out 5 out of 7 days. Not bad. Not bad. Here's something for you, though. 3 days a week is 42%. 4 days a week is in the 50%. I think it's 58. 5 days a week is still only 71% for the week. You got up that. 6 days a week is showing up 85% of the time. That's why I make sure I exercise 7 days a week, all right? Art of War, 5 days. I'd love to see that. Here's how you can improve. The truth, Art of War, just up that to 6. Go 1 more day a week. It'll make a difference. Spawn every other day. I'm okay with that with weights as long as you're exercising every day. If you're doing some type of swimming, running, biking, like some type of movement. Rachel Moran, there we go, 7 days a week. That's what I want to see. That's why you have that Maximus badge next to your name, and you are making incredible progress. I'd actually love to hear about your progress. How are we doing? How does the body look? How do you feel? Are you happy with yourself? Do you love what you see looking back at you when you look in the mirror? Frank D says 4 to 5 days. Let's try to up that to 5 to 6. You'd be shocked how much of a difference that makes. Justin Riley, 6 days a week. Let's try for 7. What do you do, Justin, on that 7th day? Do you do anything? If you're not lifting weights, are you at the very least moving around? Michael Glassmaker, 7 days. That's my guy. I know you're on the 7-day program. Adrian, thank you very much. 1, but trying to do more, make it happen. Do you brush your teeth once a week? No, you should be doing more. Justin, what do you do on your day off? Because when I say that you should work out every day, sometimes I'm not just talking about push-ups or bench press, but like, do you at least go for a walk on your day off? Zenor says to gain muscle, Can one only eat fruits and honey for carbs and protein, or must you have oats, pasta? I don't think you have to have oats and pasta at all. Your diet could literally be meat, nuts, seeds, and berries, and you would absolutely crush it. All right. Spawn, okay, thanks. I appreciate you. Yeah, but do as much work as you can. I don't know how I turned my green screen off. Does anyone know how to get that off? There we go. Turned it off. I got it now. All right. I wonder what happened on the other end of this. Why I turned that green screen on by accident. My big thumbs hit it. Anyway, we have a lot of people working out. If you can get a lot more. Oh, Justin says probably at work and do a lot of walking. Walking's great. Walking is one of the best exercises you can do. Zenor, thanks, man. I'm subscribing. I appreciate you very much. Jojo says, is it best to go in the sauna before working out or after? I prefer after. There can actually be a cardiovascular effect from having the sauna after the workout. So I prefer after. Rachel says, I started following you like a year and a half ago and started lifting. I'm 5'4", 130 and did deadlift 240 now. I also just did 314 box jumps at 24 inches in 20 minutes. That is awesome. You're crushing your deadlift. You're crushing the box jumps. I am really, really, really proud of you. And I appreciate you stopping in for this weekly motivation. So just keep going. Remember, the sky is the limit. That's the key. And to turn it into a lifestyle. Benjamin Robinson says, I've been doing roughly 10 reps a day recently. 10 reps a day of what? And the truth, Rachel Moran, yes, she is an incredible human. Very, very proud of her. Spawn says, I'm 34, just getting back into everything. I have 20-pound dumbbells, a crowbar. How many reps or sets should I begin with? It depends on what you're doing, but here's actually a great exercise for you. Trinity-style workout. So every day, pick 3 exercises, maybe 3 upper body exercises, and do as many reps as possible in 30 minutes. Here's one for you to try. Overhead press, so like a standing shoulder press, bicep curls, and push-ups. So do like 10 overhead presses, 10 bicep curls, 10 push-ups. Do as many rounds as you can in 30 minutes. The next day, let's do that with a dumbbell front squat with the weights like this, a dumbbell reverse lunge with the dumbbells in farmer carry position, and sit-ups. Do as many reps as you can in 30 minutes. If you just ran that rotation for a few weeks, that would actually be pretty awesome. All right. The final thing we have to talk about, we talked about diet, we talked about exercise, and don't forget, get your supers in. That's how this guy eats, and I am hungry for some steak, so get those supers in right now. They help me make content. Honestly, making content is not cheap, all right? Not inexpensive, and I want to make more content for y'all. So get your supers in. That helps me make more content, okay? Now, the final thing that you want to do if you want to get lean that's super underrated is you want to get more sleep and you want to mitigate stress. That is super, super important, all right? Justin Riley, what is a good time on the rower for a mile? So a mile is what, about 1.6 kilos, or sorry, not kilokilometers. So 1.6 kilometers, that is 1,600 meters. So let's go a 2,000 meter row time. Like a 2,000 meter would be like a reasonable, that's actually like a standardized test in the rowing community, 7 minutes. That's the standard in my Maximus Body book. Michael Johnson says, try to improve conditioning for my firefighter job. Any tips? You're a beast of a man. Really, really appreciate it. The best way to train conditioning for a firefighter, I would say body weight exercises, push-ups, pull-ups, and dips. That's the, I actually do a workout called the Holy Trinity. It's push-ups, pull-ups, and dips. As many reps of each as possible in 30 minutes. The other one is the lowly trinity, squats, reverse lunges, and sit-ups. Same thing, as many reps as you can in 30 minutes. I would run those on alternating days, upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower, upper, lower. Does that make sense? The other thing I would do is I would start running and running stairs. There is nothing better than running stairs, especially for like a firefighter conditioning test. There's probably going to be stairs involved, so I'd be running stairs. Is 1 hour of jogging 6 days a week still great for fat loss? Absolutely, Nick. Just the more cardiovascular work you can do, the better. Running, swimming, biking, stairs, like whatever you can get, right? Stress, sleep. If you can mitigate stress, if you can sleep more, this whole process gets easier. Number one, you have more energy during the workouts. That's super, super important. That's going to help you immensely. Number two, your chemicals in your body, the testosterone, the human growth hormone, like a lot of people are low T, and it's because of stress and it's because of a lack of sleep. So if you can get more sleep, if you can mitigate stress, I promise you this whole process will be easier. Now, let's ask you another question in the comments. Who here, actually, give me a number. We'll do that game again. How many hours of sleep do you get a night? I want to see it in the comments because my recommendation is 8 hours a night. That's what I want you to get. 8 hours and 15 minutes is better than 8 hours. Truth says 6. We got to get that up. Art of War 5 to 6, you have to get that up. Do you know when your sleep gets around 5 hours, your testosterone cuts in half? So Spawn 4 to 7, like you probably have lower testosterone than you should because of a lack of sleep. Jesse Walker 7, that's not bad. Let's try to get that to like 7:15, 7:30, or 8. The more you sleep, the better you will do. Nick Coleman, can you repeat the upper body workout you said? Well, there was 2. The first one, I would do 3 sets of 30 push-ups. Oh, the circuit, the Holy Trinity. Push-ups, pull-ups, dips, max reps in 30 minutes. It's absolutely incredible. You want to build a physique, someone like a physique that looks like Jason Statham's or mine, then the Holy Trinity is the ticket. Rachel, 8 religiously. Man, I love you. You are crushing it. You're doing everything right. And this is why, honestly, Rachel, like let's call it what it is. This is why you've made tremendous progress. Because you're dedicated to your diet, you're dedicated to your sleep, and you work out every single day. Like there's no hacks, there's no shortcuts, there's no 3 easy payments of $9.99. Like you were just putting in the work on a daily basis, and that's why you're seeing this result. Frank D, 6 hours to 8, retired cop, hard to get back to normal. I'm doing better. You need to build a sleep routine. That's going to be the most important thing, especially from somebody that was on the job. I was only on the job for 6 years. I was in Toronto Police Service, part of something called TAVIS. But you need to build a sleep routine. One of the things that I would do, I would practice going to bed at the same time every night. An hour before bed, I would turn off all electronics. I would dim the lights and I would do something relaxing. I would take a little bit of magnesium citrate before bed. And I would have a shower before bed just to like relax the body and tell it it's time to relax. Make sure you have a cold room and warm feet. If you do that, you'll learn to start sleeping more. Rachel Moran says, I heard a doctor refer to 5 hours sleep as chronic sleep deprivation. Yeah, that is the truth. You will see a massive chemical difference in your body. Nick Coleman, lower body was body weight squats, reverse lunge. No, we're not reverse crunches, reverse lunges. So for the lower body guy, I want body weight squats, reverse lunges. That means like lunging backwards in place, like where you're standing. And then you can do crunches or sit-ups, although I prefer full sit-ups. Zednur, cold shower before bed? No, cold shower waking up, warm shower before bed to try and relax yourself and then get into bed. So if you can do those things, if you can create that calorie deficit, all right, if you can limit the calories you eat and exercise so you create that calorie deficit, if you can eat a diet free of processed food, if you can follow a good workout program, you can sleep and mitigate stress, I promise you, you'll make a massive change in your body. And I've been telling you guys this, and I'm going to tell you again, this process isn't complicated. People try to complicate it because they're all trying to sell you something. But honestly, you just need to, and singing, dancing muscle man, I'll get to your question in a minute. I can see it is filled like it's filled with nonsense, but I am here to play. If you can do these things, there's no hacks, there's no shortcuts, there's no 3 easy payments of $9.99. It's just simple hard work over a period of time. And Rachel, our hero of today's live, is a testament to that. Just do the work and you will make a massive change. All right, I have the best question for you. Would you rather fight 10 bears, each the size of a duck, or one duck the size of a bear? Your adoring fans need to know the answer to this man, I would rather fight 10 bears the size of a duck. A duck seems like it would be really, really strong if it was the size of a bear. I don't want to fight a 200-pound, 250-pound, 300-pound, 500-pound animal. Like, people don't understand how strong animals are. So that is the answer, and that is the official answer. But listen, it's been a great live tonight. Make sure you get your supers in. Can we get one more super before I go? Can we get 2? Can we get 3? Get your supers in. And if you can't get a super in, because not everyone has that hooked up, at the very least, go to my latest video and leave a comment. I want you to, in the comments of my latest video, it's on Man Boobs, I want you to put down your favorite chest exercise in the comments to let me know you were here. When I get off this live, I should see like 100 comments there, all right? So get this going. Also, like the video, push the thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. Nick Coleman, can you describe a great jump rope workout? I got you. We'll close the live on that. Do a 5-minute warm-up, just steady state. Then I want 6 minutes of 30 seconds really hard, 30 seconds rest for 6 full minutes. You're going to rest 4 minutes. You're going to do 6 minutes again of 30-30s. You're going to rest 4 minutes. You're going to do 6 minutes of 30-30s again. You're going to rest 4 minutes. Then you're going to do a 5-minute cool down. That entire workout will take 40 minutes and you will absolutely be crushed. So on that note, go to the last video. In the comments, write down your favorite chest exercise. It was a lot of fun spending time with you today. I really appreciate it. Sing You Dancing Muscle Man. I appreciate the support in the comments because I can't type right now. So I really, really appreciate that. I'm going to go. I'm going to eat some steak. I'm going to do a little Instagram. I just got this in the mail. If you know what that is, you know that's a very special card. I'm going to play some Magic the Gathering. And I'm going to get in bed nice and early tonight. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I will see you for the next live. Don't forget, go to that latest video and make sure you comment your favorite chest exercise. Help bump the algorithm up. I will have a good one, you as well, and I'll see you next time. And Rachel, again, you're crushing it. Awesome work.